Sport now with Joe McDermott. And Joe, Parramatta's Chris Sandoz out of Sunday's NRL match.
Yeah, that's right, Jez. Parramatta has dropped halfback Chris Sandow from Sunday's NRL match against the West Tigers. Sandow has been under pressure over his form and fitness. He'll play for Wentworthville in the New South Wales Cup tomorrow. Meanwhile, there are 2 games tonight with most interest in the showdown between Manly and Canterbury in Sydney. Manly welcomes the return from injury of Glenn and Brett Stewart for tonight's match. It's the Sea Eagles' first since Des Hasler left the club to join the Bulldogs as coach at the end of last season. Anthony Watmer passes Bob Fulton on the list of appearances for Manly, playing his 212th game for the Sea Eagles. In the other game tonight, the Broncos take on the Titans at Lang Park. And staying with the NRL, Parramatta has been fined $80,000 by the Australian Rugby League Commission for salary cap breaches last season. 3 other clubs also received breach notices, including the Gold Coast, Penrith and Canberra. In the AFL, Fremantle takes on Carlton at Subiaco Oval in Perth tonight. Blues coach Brett Ratten will be looking for a big improvement after last week's 30-point loss to Essendon. Ratten says his side has trained well all week and is ready to win away from home. The Dockers need to capitalise on their dominance in the ruck, but will find it hard without Aaron Sandilands. He's been ruled out with a knee injury. Meanwhile, AFL Chief Executive Andrew Demetriou says he'd like to see charges brought against people who send threatening messages to players or officials through social media websites. Police are investigating offensive tweets sent to Essendon player Sam Lonergan and the AFL official Jason Mifsud. Demetriou says he's been sickened by some of the messages he's seen.
We find it disgusting. The Twitter and all of the commentary has been forwarded to the police, hopefully to pursue the perpetrator. That sort of language has no place in this country. It's disgusting, it's offensive, and we're leaving it in the hands of the best people possible, the authorities, to try and deal with it.
In Super 15 rugby, Queensland will be looking for a big improvement when they take on the Blues at Eden Park in Auckland tonight. After a 10-point loss to the Stormers in Brisbane last week, the Reds come up against an Auckland side which has only won 1 game this year. Melbourne gets the bye this weekend, while the ACT Brumbies play the Lions in Johannesburg early tomorrow morning, and the Force play the Stormers in Perth tomorrow night. Australia is in a powerful position heading into the final day of the 3rd cricket test against the West Indies in Dominica. The tourists will need 5 wickets and the West Indies will require another 197 runs when play resumes tonight. Shane Shillingford took 10 wickets for the game as Australia was all out for 259 in its 2nd innings. The West Indies made a poor start to the run chase, with Ed Cowan taking a superb catch. But the ever-reliable Shivnarine Chanderpaul combined with Darren Bravo for a 110-run stand. Michael Clarke took 3 wickets, including Chanderpaul, for 69.
And this will be a huge wicket in the last over of the day. The big wicket.
Australia will win the series 2-0 if it claims victory on the final day. In tennis, Samantha Stosur is into the quarterfinals of the WTA event in Stuttgart. Stosur beat her German opponent 6-2, 2-6, 6-3. She takes on Maria Sharapova for a place in the semi-finals. While Rafael Nadal has recorded his 31st consecutive win at the Barcelona Open, he beat his Colombian qualifier opponent 6-2, 6-3. Nadal will next face Serb 5th seed Janko Tipsarevic. In racing, Black Caviar is the talk of Adelaide ahead of tomorrow's run in the Robert Sangster Stakes at Morphettville. A win will take the mare past the current record of 19 successive victories she shares with Desert Gold and Gloaming. Oaks Day is a sellout at Morphettville with a crowd of 30,000 expected. And Indian cricketer Sachin Tendulkar has been nominated for an upper house seat in India's parliament. 12 seats are filled by presidential appointment and are normally awarded to Indians who've excelled in the arts, science and sport, Jez.
Thanks, Joe.